This includes the non-projected, projected pictures, graphic materials, exhibits, flannel board and felt board, and object. The non-projected are the photographs and illustration, while the projected pictures are the slides, film strips, overhead projections. So, yung mga non-projected is yung mga nahahawakan natin or yung nahahawakan ng teacher. While the projected are through slides, film strip, and the overhead projections. And the graphic materials are the chart, graphs, maps and globes, and posters. And the exhibits are the school-made displays, bulletin boards, then museums. And the flannel board and felt board. And objects are the specimens, relics, and models. So, kadalasan yung mga ganito, mas madaling maintindihan ng mga estudyante natin o yung mga pupil natin kung ano yung dinidiscuss natin sa kanila through objects or through yung pinapakita natin na picture sa kanila. Mas madali nilang maintindihan yon. Okay? So, let's proceed to the audiovisual aids. Audiovisual aids use of both auditory and visual senses at the same time. So, example of this is the motion pictures, television, and the videotape recorder or the VTR. So, let's start with the motion pictures. Motion picture, its chief educational value lies in promoting learning wherein movement is a necessary part of understanding. It is also an effective device in arousing pupil interest in creating the past and bringing the outside world into the classroom. Motion pictures is yung mga, from the word motion and pictures, gumagalaw na pictures. Sometimes kasi yung mga pictures na a-attract natin yung interest ng mga estudyante natin, lalong-lalo na sa mga bata. Okay? So, number 2 is the television. Educational television is considered as one of the newest instructional media. So, television falls into two kinds of telecast, which is the open circuit and the closed circuit. Open circuit is yung tune in by home receivers, telecast by commercial networks or station, or yung nandun na, yung hindi siya recorded or yung kung ano yung nilalabas that time, yun na yun. Okay? And the closed circuit is hindi siya telecast on air. Okay? Which is it's either recorded or kung example, it is usually used in a big universities kasi, 'di ba? Yung mga big universities may mga kanya-kanyang station 'yon. So 'yun. Okay? And the videotape recorder or the VTR. So if you recall on your high school days, sa mga specific subject like the English and the Filipino, nagkakaroon kasi ng ng film viewing, tinatawag nilang film viewing, wherein the teacher can the teacher will show you a film or a video or a tawag doon, para kang nasa sinehan, ganon. And then later on, the teacher will ask different question like, what are the characters on that story, what are the place on, what are the place, ganon. And then, the student will answer those questions. Okay? And the number 5 of kinds of instructional aids is the demonstration. Mostly commonly used in teaching skill, showing processes, defining a problem in concrete terms, and conveying information. Like other teaching aids, demonstration can be used effectively at various points of a unit lesson. So, example of this is in on college, like the HRM department or the HRM course, when your teacher is demonstrating a certain menu or a certain cooking style, dinedemonstrate na yung kung paano gumawa ng example ng cake. Okay? The teacher is demonstrating, and then the teacher will ask different questions. Okay? The teacher is demonstrating the steps of that certain topics. Okay? And then later on, the teacher will ask the student to answer answer the question of the instructor, and then hahayaan din ni teacher sometimes na siya na yung gumawa kung ano yung dinemonstrate niya. Ganon yung demonstration. Okay? And then number 6 is the community resources. Utilize resources to enrich the learning experiences of pupils or the student. The teacher can bring the community into the classroom or bring the children or the pupils out in the community. This is done by inviting resource person or by taking the pupils on a field trip. So, resource person, the most important resource of community in its people. In any community, there will always be individuals who have special knowledge and skills that they can share with students. When they are invited to school for this purpose, they are called the resource person. So, yung resource person na yun, siya yung nag-share sa mga student or the pupils sa mga knowledge na meron sa kanya. Okay? Kung example na yun yung para siyang tour guide. 'Di ba yung mga tour guide, sila yung mga knowledgeable sa mga resources or a place na sinishare niya sa mga estudyante. And then the number 2 is the field trips. So yung or yung mga educational trip, ganon. The teacher is letting the student or the pupils na mag visit or pumasyal magpasyal, and then later on the teacher will ask different question kung ano yung mga natutunan nila sa field trip na yon, kung ano yung mga nakita nila doon, ganun. And then but of course it is according to the subject na meron sila, like the HRM. The teacher nagkakaroon ng field trips sa mga hotels, ganun. Okay? And then the language laboratory, it is a workshop designed to give student practice in listening, comprehension, and speaking. The equipment includes magnetic tape recorders, headset, microphones for student, and a switchboard and intercommunication system for the teacher. Sometimes yung language laboratory para siyang computer shop. Ganun. Ito mas madali siyang magturo kasi kanya-kanya yung mga student na nagbibigay ng mga ideas nila. Okay? So those are the kinds of the instructional aids and their uses. So let's proceed to the sources of instructional aids. So one of the major problems of teacher with reference to use the instructional aids is where to get these materials. With the exception of some of the expensive materials and equipment discussed in this chapter or this discussion, the teacher can avail himself of unlimited supplies of other materials with just a little ingredients and initiatives. Or in generosity, I should say, or initiative. So, number 1 is the various periodical and magazine which are full of potentially useful pictures. Pwede silang kumuha doon. And then, stir factories, commercial concerns of all sorts which give samples of raw and processed materials to school. Collection of specimen and relics obtained from the community. Cooperative preparation of materials with students such as flannel and magnetic boards, bulletin boards, graphics, and exhibits. Commercially produced materials of all sorts. And the best source of educational materials or films are the Department of Education, culture and sports, and the various embassies in the Greater Manila area. Some of these are the United States of Switzerland, Belgian, British, French, Italian, and Japanese, Royal Swedish, Switzerland, and Spanish embassies. Films available from these sources deal mostly of an art, natural resources, health, and hygiene, I should say, medical science, mental health, safety, welfare, labor science, social science, sport, travel, and recreation. But nowadays, there are these sources na pinaka-easy sa lahat ng mga easy. This is the computer or the internet. Okay? Only few years back, computers were a rarity. Nowadays, computers have become very popular. Computers in miniature form is now available in office, at homes, and in school. Even nasa cellphone lang, may internet na, okay na yon. So, doon na nila, nowadays yung mga teacher, mas pinadali yung trabaho nila through internet. Okay? Na hindi lang sa computer, internet na kasi meron ng tawag dito, pwede ka nang mag-internet through your cellphone. So, I hope that what I've discussed to you is magkakaroon na kayo ng idea or may natutunan kayo sa topic ko for today's. Thank you and God bless.